Company XYZ had 11 employees and an unpaid intern, so a total of 12 employees as such. The monthly salaries of the employees were a multiple of rupees 1000, with the maximum salary of any employee being rupees 16,000. So 16,000 is one of the salaries. The salary of any employee was different from each other. So we're talking about 12 distinct salaries. The company had 4 clients, R, Y, M, and H. For each client, 3 departments were looked after, M, A, and C. Only one person handled the department for a client, and each person handled one client and one department. So what do we mean by this is, if you look at the departments which are M, A, and C, and if you look at let's say one of the clients, which is Ramirez. So we have one employee here, one employee, one employee. So there are 3 employees for Ramirez. Similarly, we will have 3 employees for Yaroslav, 3 employees for Maslov, and 3 employees for Ashdod. So we are supposed to have 12 employees. That we already know that we have, the company has 11 employees and an unpaid intern. Now the salary of these employees, they start with a multiple of 1000 and up to maximum 16,000. I'm not sure whether 1000 is there or not. So multiple of 1000. And of course, an unpaid intern is 0,000 for that. So these two salaries do exist, 0,000. Let's look at the additional statements. For the 3 departments, the salaries used up for the departments were in AP with a common difference of more than 3,000, and the salaries are unequal multiples of 3,000. So the difference of the departments, these are in AP. And now which one is the first and which one is the second and the third, that is not known. But they have a difference of, common difference of more than 3,000. So it could be 4,000, it could be 6,000. But since it says these are unequal multiples of 3,000, so it could be only 6,000, 9,000, and so on. Second statement says for each client, the total salary used up was an unequal multiple of 3,000. So for each client also the total is multiple of 3,000, but unequal. That means we have distinct values here. The total salary spent on employees is 81,000. So if I add this particular column, this particular row, and also the values in the table, it should add up to give us 81,000. Fourth, total salary of employees from the administrative department is equal to the salary spent on employees working for Ramirez. So these two values are same. Which is the highest spent on any department or any client respectively. So this is the highest, this one is the highest for admin. The total salary of employees from the management department is equal to the salary spent on employees working for Y, which is the second highest. So this is the second highest. All the entries of multiples of rupees 3,000 is present for the salaries of the employees. So that means 3,000 is one of the salaries, 6,000 is there, and so on up to 15,000. These salaries do exist for sure. 7th point says no department or client had more than one 5-figure salary for employees. Also, each client had at least one employee working with whom whose salary was a multiple of 3,000. So if you look at the employees who are working for each particular department or client, we cannot have more than one 5-figure salary. 5-figure salary starts with 10,000. 9,000 is a 4-digit number, right? So we're talking about 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. These numbers, not necessarily, these numbers are definitely used, but such 5-digit numbers are used for every row and every column. Also, it is given that each client had at least one employee working with him whose salary was a multiple of 3,000. So if I get, let's say, 12,000 here, suppose, then there is no 5-digit number for the client R nor in the department M. So that is one thing more, which means we need to have only 4 5-digit numbers. Sorry, not 4. Should we have 4 or should we have 3? We should have 3, right? Because for 4 there will be a repetition. Okay, and also the salaries are, everyone has one employee whose salary is a multiple of 3,000. Okay, 8 points is total salary paid to the employees working for none of the clients were 4-digit numbers. So they all were more than 10,000, more than 9,000. So it's 10,000 minimum. So each is going to be greater than equal to 10,000. The lowest total salary was paid to the employees working for Maslow. So this is the least. The lowest positive salary was not paid to an employee working for Maslow. Lowest positive salary. So the lowest positive salary is maybe 1,000, 2,000 or something. So that was not, that did not go to M. 9 point says the salary of all employees in the consulting department is less than rupees 15,000. So this is less than 15,000. And this department has only one salary as a multiple of 3,000. So only one 3,000. Multiple of 3,000. The salary of all the employees in the admin department is positive. So that means this 0 as in the unpaid intern is not here. So unpaid intern we will not put here. Not in admin. 0 doesn't count as a multiple of 3,000. So we will remember that. Now, if we read these statements, we will realize that there are certain statements or facts that talks about the employee's salary, and there are certain statements that talk about the overall salary of either a client or a department. So let's segregate them. Let's talk about those statements or facts that talk about individual person's salary. That's statement number 1. Then we have statement number 3. Then we have statement number 6. And we also have statement number 2 to make sure. Will statement number 2 help here? Okay, so let's choose these 4 statements and see what do we get. So we need 11 employees and an unpaid intern. So unpaid intern has 0,000. So let's write unpaid intern. And the salaries are multiples of thousands. It could be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. If you count total, there are 17 salaries written, and we know that only 12 of these 17 numbers can go to those 12 employees. Out of those 12, 11 are paid and 1 is an unpaid item. So we know that this is a salary for sure, somebody's salary. Even if it's 0, let's call it a salary. And since it is given that maximum salary is going to be 16,000, that means somebody definitely received 16,000. So now we are left with 15 salaries, and we have 10 salaries to look into. Now, using statement number 6, all the salaries were multiples of 3,000. All the entries of 3,000 are, they do exist. So 3,000 exists, 6,000 exists, 9,000 exists, 12,000 exists, 15,000 exists. Now the next point is the total salary spent is 81,000. So out of 81,000, if I subtract the known salaries, we will get the sum of the unknown salaries. So this is going to be 0 plus 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 plus 16,000. So 3 plus 6, 9, 9 plus 9, 18, 18 plus 12, 30, 30 plus 31, 61. So we will have 20,000. Now, as of now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 employee salaries are known. We need to find out the salaries of the remaining 5. So, are we going to have a lot of cases? Let's take the smallest numbers. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. If we add the smallest of these salaries, this will give us 3 plus 7, 10 plus 9, 19. We need 20. Okay, since we need 20, so we can't take 7, we can only take 8. So, That means these are not the salaries. Using 5 of the given numbers, we had to make 20, and this is the only possibility. So the 12 employees, they have the salaries where these all are circuit, the salaries that are circuit. Next, for the 3 departments, since the departments given to us are management, and then we have got admin, and then we have got consulting. So these are the 3 departments where 81,000 has to be equally distributed. So not equally distributed, they are in AP, sorry. So 81,000. So if they are in 81,000, and if we want to form an AP, so one of the values is going to be 1/3 of 81,000, which is 27,000. And the other 2 values are going to be 87,000 plus minus some common difference. Now this D is going to be more than 3,000. So it could be 6,000, it could be 9,000, it could be 12,000. D can be anything as of now. I mean, we have a lot of cases. Also, from the second point, if we talk about the client, so there are 4 clients, the names are not important. The total salary by for each of the 4 clients is also distinct multiples of 3,000. So if one is 6,000, suppose, the other cannot be 6,000. Other is going to be different from 6,000. Now, since we know the 9 salaries, the 12 salaries that are given, now we can proceed over to the remaining points. Now, the remaining points are here: 2, 4, 5, 6, 5, 7, 8, 9. Now we know that this is supposed to be total 81,000. Also, the salaries that we are looking at are 0. Then we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 was not included. We had 8, 9, then we have 12, then we have 15, then we have 16, 3, 3, 6, 3, 9, 12. So these are the salaries of these 12 employees. Now we are supposed to put these numbers in this particular 3x4 table, part of the table. Let's read the statements now. Total salary of employees from the admin department is equal to the salary spent on employees working for Ramirez. So if I call this A, this is going to be A. And this is the highest. Now, if we talk about 5th statement, the total salary of employees from the management department is equal to the salary spent on employees working for Yarislow. So for management, if I take this as M, for Yarislow, it's going to be M. And this is the second highest. Next, if we look at 8th statement, total salary paid to the employees working for none of the clients were 4-digit numbers. So the total is going to be a 5-digit number, which is going to be 10,000 and above. The lowest total salary was paid to the employees working for Maslow. So this is the lowest and the number we can have. And the lowest positive salary was not paid to the employee. So we will remember this point. We will come back to this point later on because we cannot fill anything from this. So we will remember this. Okay. 7th point says no department or client had more than one 5-figure salary for the employees. And also each client had at least one employee working for him whose salary was a multiple of rupees 3,000. Now, for the lowest paid salary to the employees working for a single client, right? The number must be one among 12,000 or 15,000 because that's the smallest number we can have, which is the 5-digit number. Now, if we take the lowest salary to be 15,000, what could be the possibility of salaries of other clients, right? So if we take this to be 15,000 for Maslov, the others may have, which should add up to give us 66,000. Now we need them to be at distinct values. So 15 may say 3 zyada, so we can have 15, 18, and then 21, and then 27. Okay. The other possibility is Maslow can have the lowest salary as 12,000. So if we take this as 12, what could be the possibility? So we would need 69,000. Now for 69,000, the possibilities could be 15, 3, and then 24, and then 30. The other possibility we can have is 12, 15, 21, and 33. The other possibility we can have is 12, 15, 18, 36. So I'm increasing the highest to be as much as possible. The other is going to be 12, and 69 is what we need. So after 12, let's jump over to 18 now. So if there is an increase of 3 here, we should reduce 3. So we can have 24 and 30 को reduce करके 27. Or after 18, we can have 21 and then we can have 30. So that's the next one. Okay, next 18 के बाद, if I can't take 21 से count, because then we will have 2 clients who will have the same salaries. So these are the 5 cases when Maslow has the lowest salary as 12,000, as then he pays 12,000 to his 3 employees. Or for 15,000, we will have only one scenario. Now, next we should look at, let's say, this statement. The total salary of employees from the management department is equal to the salary spent on employees working for Y, which is the second highest spent. So, if we take this to be for Y, it could be second highest, could be any. Right. Okay. We know that the 3 total, one of them is 27,000, another is 27 minus D, another is 27 plus D. Excuse me. Okay. Which statement should we start with? Fine. Let's look at statement number 9. The total salaries should be there for the department. So it should be 27,000 for consulting. Why 27,000? Because if we don't take consulting the 27,000, the salary of Y is going to be 27,000. So either M or A turns out to be 27,000, and it can't be the excuse me, it can't be the highest, right? So we would need 27,000 under this. Okay. We don't have 27,000 as the second highest, right? Can A be the highest as 27? If A is the highest at 27, so we will have 12, 18 and all those values. 27,000 is highest. 24,000 will be the second highest. If this is 24, this is going to be 3 less, so this is going to be 30. The problem here is, if we take 27, we are supposed to put in either one of these 3 sets. Suppose if I put 27 at M, so this turns out to be 27. So the second highest number is 27. In none of the cases, we have 27 as the second highest number. So M cannot be 27. Now, if we take A as 27, so the highest, so the other values are going to be from this, because so we have these 3 possibilities. Now, in this, if we take 15, okay, let's take the first case. If the 27 is the highest, the second highest is 21. So this turns out to be 21. So there is a gap of 6 here. So this will turn out to be 33. Okay. This is very much possible. Now, if we take 27, so this one is very much possible. If we take 27 from where 12 is the lowest, so 27 is the highest, 24 is the second highest. That means A is 27, M is 24. So there is a difference of 3. And the total salary, the AP was in the difference of unequal multiples of, they have a common difference of more than 3000. So this is exactly 3000. So we can't have this 27. So none of these will make sense. So that tells us we can only take the first scenario where the highest is 27, the second highest is 21. So this is 6 less, so this is going to be 6 more. So we will have 27 and then we will have 21. The lowest being 15 and the second lowest being 18. Now, once we have figured out the total, let's fill in the values. So if we want to make, now we are supposed to put 12 and 12 should go someplace. So we need 12 and then 15. So for 12 and 15, then we are supposed to have 15 or 16. How can we make? So the smallest sum is 15. So for 15, that would mean we will take 12. We can't take 15. And then we can take 1 and 2. So that this is 15. Now it is given that M, the lowest positive salary was not paid to an employee working. So 1 is the lowest positive salary. So this was not paid. So the next possibility is if we take 0 and 3. Fine. This completely makes sense. 12, 0 and 3. Now, for 18, we will need a 15 and then we'll need a 1 and 2. So this is 18. So we are done with 0, 1, 2, 3, 12 and 15. Now, we are supposed to put 21 or 27. Well, if I take 16 for 21, I would need another 5. So there is no way I will be able to make 5. So 27 includes that 16. So that would mean I would need another 11. So another 11 we can have is by taking 5 and 6. There is no other way. So 5 and 6. That means the leftover 4, 8 and 9, they go to Yaroslav. Now, next if we look at consulting to be 33. So we can have consulting to be 33. If I take, let's say, 12 plus 15 is 27. 27 plus 6 is 33. So we don't have a 0 here. Okay. What if we take 15 plus 16 is 31? No. What if we take 16 plus 12 as 28? 28 plus 5 is what we need. So that means this is 16, this is 4, this is 12, and this is going to give you 1. So this makes sense. This gives us 33. So we are done with 16, 4, 12, and 1. Next we need 27. So for 27, if we take 15 plus 9, the two largest number, this is 24. I will need another 3, which is not possible. If we take 15 plus 8, this is going to give me 23. I would need another 4. That is not possible, which means I can't take 15. Now, if I take 9 plus 6 as 15, I would need another 12. So that is also not possible. If I take 2086, that will also not give us. So that means we cannot have 15 as the smallest value. So we will have to restart because this case is not applicable. So 27 is not going to exist. We came to a roadblock. Now this is something we will not get to know unless and until we try it out. So let's erase all this. Okay, so we finally get to a case where consulting is 27. Now, if we know that this 15, 18, 21, this is ruled out. So this is 27. So we will have 27 as one of the values, and M is going to be the second highest on any client. So this is 21 and this is 33. So that this sum is 81. So there is a gap of 6 and then there is a gap of 6. So this is the rearrangement. So M turns out to be 21, A turns out to be 33. 12 is the lowest. So where do we see a 33? So we see it here. So this is 12 and this is 15 now. Now, if we want to make 12, we won't be able to make 12 by taking a 5-digit number. So the numbers that we are supposed to put in here should be 4-digit numbers. We can make 15 now using, we will need a 5-digit number. So this is going to be 12 and we need another 3. Another 3 we can have is 1 and 2, or we can have 0 and 3. Suppose if we take 0 and 3, the problem is Masolov will have then 1. If Masolov has 1, okay, it's not necessary that Masolov will have 1. So we can have 12, 1, 2, or we can have 12, 0, 3. Okay. 12,000 is what we need with 3 numbers. We are pretty sure that 12 is taken by Hashad. So we can have 1 we can't take. So 2 is the minimum we can start with. 2, 3, and 7. 7 is not there. Okay, 2, 4, and 6. So Masolov is going to have 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so 2, 4, and 6 are taken. That means we can't have 12, 1, 2. We will have 12, 0, and 3. Now let's look at the highest, Ramirez, 33. So how can we make 33? 33 we can have is 16, and then we will need another 17, and 17 will happen with 8 and 9, the largest values. So we have 8, 9, and 16. And obviously the leftovers, which are 1, 5, and 15, which will add up to give us 21, that goes to Y. So everything now falls in place. Okay. Next is we need 33. In order to have a 33, we can take 16, 15, 2, and 0. That's the only way to go about this. No. We can have more possibility. We can ignore 16 and instead of 2 and 0, we can take larger values. Okay, how about 21? Let's start with the smallest one. I can't take 16 because if I take 16, I'll need another 5. Not possible. No, it's very much possible. 16, 1, 4, and 0. It is also given that the salary of employees in the consulting department is less than 15,000. Right? This part is also given. This is helpful. So I need less than 15 values to add up to give us 27. So we can take 8 plus 5, 13, 13 plus 2, 15, 15 plus 12. If you start with 12, we can have 12 plus 6, 18, 18, and we need 9, 1 and 8. This is also possible. So we should fill up 21 first. We're pretty sure 16 is going to be here. And if we take 0 here, if we take 3, we will need 2. That's not possible. So we need another 5, and we can only have another 5 by taking 1 and 4. So this part is done. 16 is taken, 1 is taken, 4 is taken, and 0 is taken. Okay. Now, if we look into consulting, we know that we do not have 15,000 or above. So there is only 5 that we can put here. So 5 is done. So we will need 22. And for 22, we would need 12 for sure. 12 plus 2 plus 8. That's the only way to go about this. So we will have 12, 2, and 8. So that means 8, 2, and 12 are done. We are left with 9, 15, 6, and 3. So 9 plus 9, 18, 18 plus 15 is 33. So this is the final table, which required a bit of hit and trial. And there were a total of 6 cases that we had to look into. Now let's move on to the questions and see what are those questions.
Question number 6. What is the salary of the employee working for the management department of Masolov? So for Masolov, we have got the employees working at salaries of 2,000, 6,000 and 4,000. We have the option 4,000, so option A. Question number 7. For how many of the 12 entries we can definitely determine the department and client of the salary receiver? So we can determine for all 12 of them. Option C. Question number 8. How many of the following statements are definitely true? The unpaid intern was part of the salary roll of the client whose other 2 employees received a salary as a multiple of rupees 3,000. This is true. So the unpaid intern is for H under management, and the other 2 have the salaries which are multiple of 3,000. So this is true. Second, no client had the salaries of the employees as an AP. So 8, 9 and 16, no. 1, 5 and 15, no. 2, 4 and 6, yes. But since it says no client, so this is false. Third, among all the clients, Y had the highest difference between the highest and lowest salaries of employees of any 2 departments working for the same client. So for Y, the difference is that of 14. For R, the difference is that of only 8. For M, the difference is that of only 4. And for H, the difference is that of 12. So we can see that third is also true. So the correct answer is going to be 2 statements are correct. Ninth, what is the lowest difference between the highest and the lowest salary of employees working in a department? So we want to find the lowest difference that of the highest and lowest salaries. That means the highest and lowest salaries should be as close as possible. So the difference is that is going to be 16, then it's going to be 15 and 3, which is going to give us 12. And for consulting, it's going to be 12 and 2, which is going to be 10. So the answer is going to be 10,000. which is option B. Question number 10. Employees of which department and client had their salary as rupees 8,000? So 8,000 salary is for Ramirez under consulting. So consulting under Ramirez, option C.